Bumblebee. Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Thunder on MRL Broadcasting. I'm your host, Snake in the booth here, and I have my tag team teammate, Smokin' Joe, with me. Hey, Joe, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going good. I'm still recovering from that checkered flag last week there at Homestead. Man, I don't think that race ever ended there, see?
Yeah, that was a continuation of greatness. We'll have to revisit that sometime, but we've finally packed our bags and moved on to Talladega this week here as Friday Night Thunder moves to its regular season cutoff race at the Super Speedway. Uh, You know, it's a super speedway. It's a plate race, Joe. And with that being said, all bets are off. It's anybody's gamble, anybody's guess tonight.
Yeah, I think these drivers can drive blindfolded out there, and we can get the same kind of result that we get from super speedway racing. To be honest with you, definitely going to be a bit of a toss up here. There's always a few guys that I'm looking out for super speedway racing, in particular. I know our last winner from Daytona just a couple weeks ago, Buddy Sully, always runs up front. Joe Volpes, Matt Novella finished second, third in that race. They're usually running up front as well in super speedway races. Looking for some of the other guys as well to run up front. Daniel Plant Smith, he started on the front row for Daytona, had some blinking issues that really kept him out of the running for the race. Hopefully, he can avoid that here tonight. And who knows? Maybe we get a first-time winner this season and really shake up this chase picture here.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, the track conditions tonight, we have the 93 degrees for the 93% humidity. Very cloudy out there. Just a little bit of a breeze, 10 miles an hour. Shouldn't affect much out there once we go round and round. Yeah, look to see the Gulf Coast racing contingency from some of our other series to be up front tonight. And, some guys like Zach Panzarella, and maybe the impressive rookie Juan Delgado might be a dark horse tonight with the super speedway. It's really fun to watch it play out. Strategy, no strategy, a little bit of luck, anything can happen. So being that it is the cutoff race, let's look at our top 15 points here as we go into one more opportunity to either point your way in or perhaps get that win and move on and earn your spot. So Joe Volpes still maintaining the lead after Homestead last week opened up to about a 31 point gap between Matthew Fritz in second place. Steve Lewis drops into third there after holding second place for a healthy amount of the regular season. David Owens up to fourth, Jax Duvall in fifth. Looking further ahead, we have Matt Novella. He was moving up. Thomas Fox was a little bit of misfortune. He takes a slide down too. Jay Stinson stays in eighth. Daniel Smith moves up, and with tonight's start, that will make him eligible to compete in the playoffs for a championship. Sean Walton, another one that misses last week, loses a couple spots on the cutoff line with Zach Panzarella and Juan Delgado, Buddy Solly, all within 10 below that cut line, Joe.
Yeah, it's very, very tight there, and a couple of those guys are in a bit of different situations. So you see a couple of guys have wins in their column there, one in that win column. That's really important to them. And then there's guys that have zero. So Daniel Plant Smith, if he falls out of the top 10, it's going to have a greater effect on him than if Sean Walden falls out of the top 10, especially if Zach was the one to replace him in the top 10, or Buddy for that matter. So there's a lot of different variables going on here. While I look here at the point seat, right, the top 7 have already locked themselves in. So they're going into tonight. They're playing with house money. They have nothing to worry about. Just going to try and go out there, maybe get a chase point from a win tonight in order to move their way up the chase reset standings. 8th place, Jay Stinson. He's pretty much locked in by starting the race tonight, I would say. Daniel Plant Smith, like I just mentioned, definitely needs a good run tonight, if not the win, to just guarantee that spot. Sean Walden, mattering on what happens behind him, may need a good run as well. And of course, Zach Panzarella and Buddy Sully in the same situation. Juan Delgado most likely in a spot where he needs to point his way in, or a win will do it the same for him. Brenner, Garand, and everybody further on back, they're going to I would say most likely need a win. I don't think it's going to be possible for them to make up those points here tonight. See, I think they're going to need to push their way to the front, get a win, and hope they can jump one of these wild card drivers.
Yeah, so absolutely a lot at stake as we do maybe take a peek at that wild card bracket, but a very well, very thoroughly explained. And Joe, it's in their hands. Take a look at practice here. A couple guys with some of the fast times. We have Joe Volpus and David Owens, some of your usual suspects on super speedways. Steve Lewis showing pretty good speed out of that 88 machine tonight, as well as Daniel Plant Smith. And in their fifth place there at overall time, Jack Sanders and the Florida man, Jack Stivall. So I think they're doing I think you're going to see a lot of them tonight. Those look like some of the faces that are going to stake their claim. And there is that wild card graphic that I was mentioning prior to that. So you see, you have Zach Panzarella and Buddy Sully. They have currently a slot in the wild card, but right behind them, you have Juan Delgado, David Brenner, Brandon Garand, John Beverly, Jack Sanders. Jack Sanders is going to be one start short, so I don't think he would qualify with a win. So, it's going to be a scramble for these guys below the red line. So it's going to be interesting how they play their hand tonight, Joe.
Yeah, so you could already see some of these guys eliminated because they don't have enough starts. Dustin Parham here tonight. He won at Dover earlier this season. He doesn't have a chance in order to make it because he doesn't have enough starts. Jack Sanders here tonight. Matt Tucker, Richard Swingle, all guys on this graphic that are racing tonight, but they won't be able to reach that minimum start requirement. So a win for them, unfortunately, will not get them into a chase spot, even if they were able to point their way up to get it done as well.
Just look good in the trophy case.
So yeah, the one big thing I'm looking at here, though, the one thing I do want to touch on here is just look at how tight the battle is, though, because, we were looking at how close Delgado is. So he's 3 points behind that top 10 spot, but he's right there in that battle for a wild card if he gets a win. David Brenner, Brandon Garand, John Beverly, they're all pretty close to each other. So if there's a scenario where Panzarella moves his way into the top 10 and Sean Walden stays in the top 10, Buddy takes one of the wild card spots, and one of those guys was to win. That battle's really close between them in order to get that up to that second spot. So it would be very interesting just to see how this all plays out. I'm very curious to see how some of these guys race knowing the kind of scenarios that they're in, because it really is kind of unknown even for those wild card guys if they're going to make it or not tonight.
So clearly a lot at stake. And now that we've set the table, Joe, let's take a look at some of our qualifying efforts tonight and see who gets that pole and tries to lead the field here and stay out of trouble at this big monstrous super speedway.
Yeah, the big thing about qualifying here is, I don't have anything good to tell you about qualifying at a super speedway because I'm terrible at it. Apparently what you're supposed to do is just hold the throttle wide open and keep it as close to the yellow line as possible on the second lap while running the highest on the first lap in order to get the momentum going. Apparently I can never do this right because I never qualify well at this. So I know qualifying isn't really your strong suit either. So I kind of wish we had like a Duval or somebody like that up here that could really explain how qualifying works. Richard Swingle, another person, we see him down a heater there. He got the pole for the Wednesday Xfinity Daytona race, the first race of the season over there.
Yeah, Swingle and Jack Duval, they're definitely teammates on Monday nights, good friends on and off the track. So you probably gave them a little bit of those helpful hints on how to really put down a heater at the super speedways. Like you, Joe, not my forte, not my strong suit. So I'll either botch it, gloriously, just like you do, or I'll just hit that blue button and I'm ready to go.
You should go with option number 3, which I think is you get a blindfold and you put it on and you just go out there and see what you can do.
Either that or we could run it at night, it's your choice.
That's not a bad option either. I have some experience running here at nighttime. It's very fun.
Absolutely. So, many things lie ahead. Maybe that's in Talladega's future for our MRL, since it kind of was in its past. But Jack Sanders at the top currently. Jack Sanders in the 25 Chevrolet there. He's got that nice little Hendrick kind of mojo going there. A master at making awesome paint schemes and liveries. So if you're in the market for a paint scheme, or you're just looking to see some really good car art, Jack Sanders does an excellent job there. See fast Louis, Steve Lewis, 9 in that 88, given the shout out once again, third week strong, fourth week strong now with that MRL broadcasting medallion on the hood, the nice pink and black chrome Nike 88 machine, looking fast on the track tonight.
Air Louis.
Air Louis on the roof cam. He's put in his qualifying effort, and it looks like it's just going to be outside the top 5 currently. I'm going to take a look further in action here. Yeah, you see, look at that Ford out there. Kyle Lannott. Looks like he's going to make his qualifying effort. And anybody thirsty? They get you a really good deal on some mellow yellow there.
I believe that's John I can't get it out. Flamion.
We're sorry, John.
Flamion. I'm sorry.
John Flamion. And that 915. John, we'd like to welcome you to the series. Looking good in that mellow yellow Chevrolet. We'll get your name right. We apologize. And Joe Volpus, once again, the Mark Martin Valvoline 6 Ford Mustang, looking sharp as ever out there. Joe Volpus, is he going to put down a heater? Is he going to put down something less than optimal?
Well, I kind of hope he doesn't repeat what Mark Martin did here all those years ago and end up in a part of the racetrack that a race car should never end up in.
Oh,
you know where that is, see?
One of those iconic moments, there's folks camping down there, I'm sure they love to see the race car, but not at race speeds.
Still one of the craziest wrecks of probably in Talladega history, and there's been a lot of them. See,
so obviously it's helped the evolution of the track with improving safety standards and kind of like modernizing things as the cars have gotten faster and more dangerous, and more attend these events every year. You have to have those measures in place. So so Mark Martin was a guinea pig that day. We have safer barriers today. So looks like Jack Sanders has been ousted from the pole. Justin Parham in the 99 there, looking to go trophy hunting once more. Justin Parham fast week in, week out in that 99.
There you go. See Jay Stinson, the J Daddy 60 Chevrolet out there on the track. Jay just looking to get a good run here in qualifying, I think. He's pretty much feeling pretty safe, I think, with his current point situation. But you can never go wrong with getting the win, right? See that
yeah, that'll get you feeling good real fast. Jay's your daddy in that 60 machine. We know Stinson has a lot of experience on super speedways. Always has a fast car. He's always good to work with, and tends to be a good balance of aggressive and decisive. So look to see Jay up there tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he took it and got that trophy and made it, locked his spot in the playoffs with those extra points as well.
Yep, Talladega, definitely want to see. So, of course, just to give everybody a little inside baseball, not really inside baseball. This is just normal rules for this kind of racing. If you've watched NASCAR over the years, you know how it works. Double yellow line, you see it right there on your screen. The double yellow line, of course, is not to be crossed at any point in order to gain position unless it's for avoiding a wreck, which I'm sure we're going to see some people go down there and probably avoid the big one tonight, see. But
it'll be scattering.
Big no-no to make a pass below there. We've seen many people in NASCAR lose a win by going below the yellow line. Here, specifically at Talladega, I could think of a few in recent memory as well. Matt DiBenedetto losing the race win to Denny Hamlin back in the day, where he got that one as well.
Yeah, that was Regan's win. So yeah, definitely history has a tendency to repeat itself. But for all intents and purposes, it's going to be officiated as out of bounds. Cannot advance your position, go below that line. So we'll see how dicey it gets, and we'll see if anybody toes that line tonight. Ha ha ha. As Matt Tucker is now your pole sitter in the 35 machine. Matt Tucker, another one that shows great speed week in and week out, Joe.
Yeah, Matt Tucker, I believe he qualified up front here for Daytona a few weeks ago as well. So I'm expecting to see him run well tonight. Here's another one that I expect to see up front a lot. Andrew Bolander in the 18 M&M's car.
Bolander, Bolander, definitely another one. Shows great speed and consistency. Definitely has just great acumen on these super speedways. I expect to see him battling for the top spot as well, running from that lead pack as they all scramble for the checkered flag tonight. Matt Tucker still looks like he's going to retain the pole. Uh, just very, very excited to see how these guys start the first segment of this race, Joe. When we're talking strategy, we have 75 laps tonight. You know, what would be your mindset going into the green flag here on the initial run to start the race?
So looking at the fuel runs, it looks like it's a pretty straightforward race. You're gonna have to pit twice if the thing does go green somehow from start to finish. So the way I'm expecting this race to really play out, if we do go green for a long time for a green flag run, I'm expecting it to play out like the way the old plate races used to play out in NASCAR, where we'll see a lot of those groups of cars. We'll have like a few groups of like 7, 8 cars that'll be in a train together, and they'll try and all close back and converge together by the end of a run. And then we may see it again if there's another green flag pit stop run.
So, you know, and now in modern days, they try to do it manufacturer specific. You'll have all the Chevys try to pit together, the Fords, the Toyotas. I don't know if we'll necessarily see it quite to that extent. I think it'll be more of a scenario where it'll be based on position and based on you know just familiar drivers that you're comfortable around that you're used to working with. So that's going to be very exciting to see tonight as Matt Tucker is going to lead us out on a pit road behind the pace car in pole position tonight. Justin Parham in the 99 is going to be P2. Second row, Jay Stinson, as we were mentioning before, up front in that Venom Racing number 60 J Daddy car. Daniel Plant Smith, a very, very strong qualifying effort. He's going to be outside row 2 and 4th. Jack Sanders, as we mentioned, in the Hendrick 25 of the Privateer in 5th. Richard Swingle of the East Coast Alliance on Monday nights. He'll be in 6th, as his buddy, pal, and teammate from Monday night, Jack Duval, will be in 7th. Tom Lester making an appearance in the 11th tonight. He qualifies 8th. Robert Babcock in the 2. He'll be 9th, as Andrew Bolander in that 18. He secures a top 10 qualifying effort.
Yep, then we see one of the guys that needs to get a good run tonight right behind them, David Brenner, going to start on the inside of row 6 with Steve Lewis to the outside. Then we got John Flamion in 13th with Buddy Sully alongside him in 14th. Joe Volpes, Kyle Lynott, Gulf Coast teammates from Wednesdays and on Sundays. Together they're on row number 8. Row 9 has Matt Fritz and David Owens. That's the first 18 on the field. Then we got all the guys that didn't qualify. So you see Sean Walden, Zach Panzarella, Matt Novella, John Beverly, Tommy Fox, Juan Delgado, and Brandon Garand going to round out the 25-car field for tonight's race there, see.
Pretty good sized field for a Talladega ARCA race. You know, not too dissimilar to how they do it in real life. So I'm pretty encouraged by this. But of course, if this is something that interests you and you've been watching and following us and you like to get involved, you know, we do have a Discord that you can join, and we'd be glad to to talk to you and help you out and get you in the MRL. But right now, the pace car is leading them as we do pace with the lights off. We will be going green this time. Matt Tucker is going to be down on the inside. He's going to be starting from the pole, and you see Justin Parham in the black and yellow 99 machine on the outside. So, yeah, very, very curious to see how this is going to go, Joe. You know, if in fact this does go green for a long, long time, as Tucker inexplicably decides to nail the blue cone. So I think what I was trying to say is, if this does go green for a long stretch, thanks Matt, we appreciate the comedy relief. You know, two stopper, Joe. I mean that's going to be quite an exciting strategy. So, you know how these super speedway races go. Some like to hang in the back. Some like to get racy up front. I don't know which you prefer. I've tried them both ways, and I feel like I have similar results regardless of what I do out there. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more of who might have the better opportunity starting out here.
Yeah, so I'd expect most of these guys at the front to probably try and stay up towards the front. The guys in the back will probably try and chill for the most part. Two guys did start from pit road. I saw Richard Swingle, Jax Duvall on pit road. They're going to start from the pits and try and stay away from any sort of first or second lap chaos.
Gotcha. So a lot to look forward here as we see the pace car pulling off. Unlike Daytona, they will not start in the middle of the tri-oval. The start-finish line is just beyond the center, so the restart zone is technically where the start-finish line theoretically should be. So enough chatter. We go green tonight, and we are off. Matt Tucker takes him on. He takes that start nice and clean. Justin Parham on the outside runs side by side with him. We're underway on Friday Night Thunder.
All right, here we go. Let's see if anybody's going to make any sort of early moves. Looks like there's already a car to the outside going backwards. It looks like it's Tom Lester has ducked out of line and decided to go to the back. Kyle Lanato and David Owens are on the high line trying to make it work here on lap number 1.
Trying to build that momentum early as we're pressing the issue 3 wide. Tom Lester has a little bit of a slower restart. He drops the back. He's still shedding positions as you see the bottom line just stacking up and marching forward. But look at Kyle Lanato and David Owens up top. They're already doing it like Dale up there, Joe. And Sean Walton's going to join the party behind them. I think that Highline's working early as these guys are making a serious run to the front. Lap 1 in the books, and it looks like Daniel Plant-Smith is going to get credit for the lead after lap 1.
Yep, we got side-by-side action here at the front of the field. You see those guys, they're really tight on each other. It looks like they're going to take it 3 wide though here.
Lanato, Owens, and the Walton train on the outside. Look at them march, Joe. You can really carry the momentum wrapping the wall up top there, and they're coming to the front as you see Kyle Lanato getting shoved by David Owens. Look at them go.
Yeah, and you know, the main reason why this is working so well for these three, the main reason why that works so well for these three, there's 2 main reasons, actually. The great pushing from David Owens, but the only reason why that was possible is because of how close Sean Walton was to the both of them. If that third car isn't up close on the pushing car, then that pushing and that momentum never gets created. So great work by the 3 of them together right there to take 1, 2, 3 here for the end of lap 2.
Absolutely. You don't want to be pushing the pusher. However, you want to squeeze that little air bubble, that little air pocket that's within inches of your nose and the rear bumper of the car in front of you. You want to keep pushing that. That helps the momentum go. That helps the draft and the pace increase. So with that, they executed a flawless move there as they are controlling the bottom line as we're at lap 3 of 75 tonight from Talladega in the Friday Night Thunder ARCA series on MRL Broadcasting. Justin Parham outside there in the 99 black and yellow. He's getting pushed by Daniel Plant-Smith on the high line. They're not quite well as formed as the inside, so they are lagging behind just a little bit. But maybe if Steve Lewis kind of tucks his nose in there a little, gets a little bit closer, they can maybe make something happen and shuffle it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's already a break in the pack here, though, I've noticed. Zach Panzarella on back is separated from this lead group already. I don't know if this is a strategical decision to be this far behind, or if they may have had some sort of miscommunication to where now this group of cars is separated from the lead group.
I think there was a checkup or something, because I'm hearing radio transmissions of a serious desperation by a few of the drivers to push and get back with that lead pack. But I think there's already a separation, and these guys need to really work together. Zach Panzarella going to be leading the front, as you see Matt Novella tucked behind him. Juan Delgado, the third car that we just talked about, Joe, he needs to be up closer. He needs to be essentially all but touching Matt Novella's rear bumper right now for this to work. As you see Beverly trying to encourage him in the 77 behind. So you gotta sniff that. You gotta sniff the booty. You gotta sniff the booty, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. The cars behind, they could be a little bit more compact, but they don't matter as much as that third car. If that third car is not compact, then this line isn't going to go anywhere. So they need to be very, very, very careful on what they do. It looks like Kyle Lynott is going to drop to the rear of the lead group here. As
maybe he's coming back to help. A little olive branch, perhaps. Or
I don't know. I think it's too big of a gap.
Yeah, I think maybe he had a little bit of a bobble and had to get out of it there and take a deep breath. As you see, Kyle Lynott going to be slowly slip back into the clutches of this Panzarella-led second group of cars. And looks like Kyle Lynott, he's trying his best to keep there. But I don't know if he has a strong of enough effect there to catch back up with the lead pack. So the 988 taking a little bit of the slide back. Yeah, he's lost that lead group, Joe. He's not making it back. So hopefully he can help this second group get back, or, get in on potential strategy that these guys might devise now that they are separated by about 4 seconds now.
Yeah, so the thing I'm noticing here very early is the way the draft package works, and it does seem like it's very easy for guys to get dropped off from the lead group, so they're going to need to be aware of that. Make sure they don't drop too far back in order to try and save their stuff, to where they, oh my God, there's big contact.
David Owens swings it out a little wide, and Sean Walton gets collected, smashes Walton's nose. As you see, he is now off the pace. We still go as the second pack scatters around the Walton machine, who's absolutely off race pace. That was a very tenuous moment there, as you see Sean Walton's going to potentially have to come down to pit road, as he is seriously off the pace, and there is no yellow in sight as we stay green on lap 7.
Yeah, no caution here. iRacing did not throw a caution. iRacing, the series admins would not have thrown a caution here unless it resulted in one or both of those cars backwards on the track, which, as you can see, both of them are still rolling in the forward direction. Not a good break for either of them, though, here. It looks like David Owens has lost the lead group, but major implications for the 23 car, Sean Walton. It looks like he may have to come use his faster pair.
Sean Walton clawing to stay within the playoff hunt, whether it be in the regular standings or as a wild card, has a bit of peril here on lap 8, as he's going to have to address this situation, as the yellow flag will not come out to help him and recover his day. Obviously, as you said, Joe, they kept going. They didn't spin, they didn't collect other cars, they made contact but kept moving. So obviously, iRacing, the sim itself, will not call it, and MRL will keep the action moving here. As you see, Daniel Plant-Smith, your leader at lap 8, we're still green. Look at Andrew Bolander. You're talking about him in qualifying, Joe. You said, all the right things. We knew that he was going to be up front. Look at him already establishing himself on the bottom there, pushing Daniel Smith on lap 8.
Yeah, and those two, I believe they are talking to each other in the same chat. So seeing some sort of teamwork here going on as well. They usually hook up very well at super speedways, and we're seeing it here early in this race. Just to touch on the whole points thing here real quick, if you look at the ticker here today there, we got the drivers in some color forms again this week. So all those guys in green this week, they're the guys that we talked about. They're all locked in. The guys in yellow, those are the guys that are currently top 10 in the points, but they're not locked in coming into tonight's race. And then there's two guys, you see them in orange. They're going to be Buddy Sully and Zach Panzarella. Those are your two wild cards at the moment. So those are the guys that we're going to keep an eye on to see where they're running in comparison to the guys that are trying to hunt their way back into the field. You see one of them there, John Beverly, trying to get his way into a chase spot. Juan Delgado in this group, Brandon Garand in this group, all those guys trying to get into a chase spot here for the first season for the Animal House Customs inaugural chase for the championship for the ARCA series.
If Beverly gets a little hot, decides to just get out of line there, cool that motor off. You know, you don't want to have catastrophic failure till you're desperately trying to get the momentum going. So he'll step out, pop in back behind Joe Volpus. Maybe Joe Volpus can help the Juan Delgado, Matt Novella, and Zach Panzarella freight train. You know, it's we're 10 laps in. The gap has increased to 7 seconds. It's only going to continue to increase at this rate if they keep doing what they're doing. I don't know why the guys in the back are going side by side. However, we do need to get this figured out.
Oh, here we go.
So it looks like there's going to develop a second line. It looks like we're going to form up with Volpus, David Owens, Kyle Lynott, and Tom Lester hanging on the back of that. And they're making some serious moves. Brandon Guerin thought of it, but Tom Lester was already there, so we'll stay on the bottom with Guerin 57. And he decides to move up. Lester gives him the room. So this outside, we're racing side by side. It looks like it doesn't make any sense, but these guys have gotten on over comms, and we've heard them talking about trying this a different way. So these guys are more comfortable working with each other. They're more comfortable working together, pushing each other hard. They know how each other prefers to work in the draft, Joe. So I think this is probably the best move to try to preserve this time, or at least manage a gap if they can't mount a full charge.
Yeah, you saw the three there that took the first three spots, Volpus, Owens, and Kyle. Those three, of course, those three are teammates in multiple series together, Gulf Coast teammates, and you can already see how much more compact the four of them are. Brandon Guerin right on the back bumper of the 988 as well.
Just very, very comfortable working with each other, Joe. I think that's a testament to that experience that you're mentioning.
Yeah, so we're going to keep a close eye on that gap, see if they can start reeling them back in. They're over 7 seconds behind that lead group that's still led by Matt Tucker and Justin Parham trying to mount a charge around him on the outside, and they're going to go three wide.
Yes, this is Talladega, baby. We were 3 wide there, and you know, Justin Parham, he is no stranger to making a charge to the front and leading laps here in the ARCA series. So, you know, it's only fitting that we see Parham up in the front leading laps whenever he does race with us. So Justin Parham with a great move. And, you know, Matthew Fritz right there with him, and Jay Stinson. Those guys are very familiar. They work with each other as well. They all know each other. So you see natural alliances forming early in the race tonight, Joe.
Yeah, we got. I'm not sure. I believe those three guys actually on the outside right now together. Those front three, they are in a chat together, I believe, as well. Parham, Fritz, and Stinson. So some teamwork going on there with those guys. You got teamwork going on the inside with Babcock, Plant Smith, Matt Tucker, and Bolander, as Bolander actually bails on them, ironically, as I say that, to go to the high side. So you see some of the, you know, even though there's not formal teams in this series, you know, everybody's allowed to join whatever Discord that they want to. So, you know, you have some sort of alliances still going on with the Discords and who's in what Discord. And I think we're seeing it here with the way the race is going here, is the 95 actually gets shuffled out here down the backstretch as everybody gets a little wiggly there as well with the pushing.
It looks like Fritzy was a victim and got shuffled out there, but he quickly recovers, and he's going to just tag on the back of the high line there behind Bolander, and you know they're just going to shuffle him up again. But those lines, they definitely did tighten up, and they're getting racy again, Joe. So side by side action. We're here at lap 14. You know, we're not quite halfway through the first fuel run. We've not had that dare I say caution yet. So you know things still going according to the script, despite a slight setback with the separation of our two groups. But it looks like the change they made in that group back there is working, as they've made up about a second to a second and a half of that deficit.
Yeah, you know, looking at the lap times, I think that they're going faster there. See, like, look at those lap times right now. They're about 7-8 faster than that lead group.
They're well organized, and they're really pushing it.
And the main difference is they're all single file. This group here, they're racing for the lead. They're going 2 and 3 wide, which when they start going 3 wide, they really start slowing each other up. And I think that's going to help that second pack the most. You see the top 12 are in this lead group still, so it's going to be a lot harder for them to go 3 wide. 13th on back in the second group. The one thing that I do notice, though, I thought I noticed it earlier. I don't know if Buddy can give us a close-up shot, but I think the 6 car might have a little damage on the front of the car.
Maybe we can get a look at that damage there. I don't know if we have a proper camera to address that, but I'm really keen to see that. That might be slowing them up a little bit, but it looks like there is some damage visible on that nose. So
yeah, I think it's like right in the center of it.
I think it's actually in the center. So if we can go back to that other TV view, I think you could see right in the center, like it was just like maybe pushed in a little bit from a hard push, or perhaps a checkup during the initial laps of the race before we all got separated. I feel like this bottom line is really well organized, and that yeah, that bumper is pushed in a little bit.
Yeah, it does look a little deformed.
So I don't know if having Vulpes as your lead car is giving you the best results possible, but he is keeping it smooth, and they are well organized, so they're letting it roll.
Yeah, there it is. You can clearly see it there.
Yeah, that's pushed in really good, but you see David Owens popping off camber there in the turns to try to cool that motor, get some air in there. You can only stay pushing hard like that, but for so long, and that motor is just going to blow as the temperatures get far too hot to keep running at that rate. It's just being starved of air. So you see off camber again there, and it's just working. As you see, the front is they're just shuffling, mixing it up again. As Andrew Bolander in the 18, he's going to take your lead, and Daniel Plant Smith helping him. So friendly alliances again at work. Matt Tucker leading that outside line in the 35. You got Parham and Jay Stinson behind them working together, and David Brenner is somebody we haven't talked about today. David Brenner in the 22 there, being the fourth car in line on the bottom there, that red 22 Mustang, looking good. If gap car, so we'll see if there's going to be some gaps in a car. David Brenner, the Florida man, with that 22 machine tonight.
Yeah, I know on his end, it's been a lot of bad luck this season. Looking to really turn it around. Win tonight would be a huge turnaround for him, actually. That would most likely get him into a chase spot. His season's just been so rough. We saw him back at Kansas earlier this season get way too many incident points. Happened to him again, I believe, at Pocono. So 2 races where he lost enough points from the incident point penalties to where it's really made it difficult for him to try and get back in the top 10 in points.
Yeah, sadly, that Kansas footage never got to see the light of the day as it was corrupted, and we weren't able to broadcast it. But I remember it clearly, Joe. Yeah, that was a rough go, as a few guys were disqualified for incident point limits, and then the Pocono did have its troubles as well. So David Brenner with a win tonight would definitely get him healthy and in the playoffs. So we'll be keeping our eye on him, as well as our other playoff contenders as well, as we ride on board with that 18 M&M's machine, and now on board with the that bright yellow Jack Sanders machine. Haven't really talked about Jack Sanders outside of qualifying tonight. He put down a pretty good heater there, and he's just been quietly just racing there and just hanging around with the front guys, and that's just kind of his MO. He's just there lurking, and then before you know it, he kind of just makes his move.
Yeah, he is a former champ on the Monday side, just playing the strategies right usually a lot of the times. These races are a lot about strategy and putting yourself in the right spots at the right time. So right now he's doing what he needs to do to just be in the lead group. I don't think he's going to try anything too rash until it gets a little later in the race. We're on lap 20, coming to the end of lap 20 and the start of lap 21, so we're probably about 4 to 6 laps away here from our first round of green flag pit stop. See?
So you're going to see the different strategies here at play. Those who went a little too much on the throttle are going to have to go a little bit sooner than those that may have been able to save a little bit, just riding in the draft and letting the other cars tow them. So look at how well formed that line is. Joe Vulpes, David Owens, Kyle Lynott trying to will this second pack here closer to the front. As you see Brandon Garand assume the duties of the fourth car, as they all, they snake a little bit, but you got to stick your nose out there, and the draft makes you get a little squirrely. So it may provide a little accordion effect, but that is a pretty tight group, and they're really trying to chip away at this time. As you see, it's kind of been around just under 6 to 6.5 seconds. So they definitely were able to recover some of it. But I think maybe they can take advantage here with the upcoming pit cycle and maybe kind of leapfrog a little bit. That would be my thinking. See if they can take advantage of this front group.
Yeah, looking at the lap times, they're pretty even with each other. Actually, that last lap, this lead group here, since they're starting to get a little bit more organized now, was a little bit faster actually than the second group. So they're actually starting to pull back away a little bit with the way they're racing up front right now. As it looks like the 88 is going to push the 25 out to the lead. Steve Lewis
And Jack Sanders
out there.
Yeah, that's that wouldn't have been my first guess as a perfect pairing. We've seen those two have a history in the past, but Steve Lewis said, "Jack, let's get to the front, man." As you see, Steve Lewis said, "Now I'm gonna race you for it." As Matthew Fritz gets racy there, may have sprouted Steve Lewis out for that second in line position on the bottom there. As Steve Lewis goes on the outside.
Oh, 3 wide.
I think we're 3 wide right now as we're getting really close to the pit cycle. I thought they were staying down low to possibly consider how they were going to manage that, but we're side by side, and Matt Tucker slides up in front of Steve Lewis. He's going to lead the outside there, and you're going to have Jack Sanders on the bottom as we come to lap 24. Exciting side-by-side races as we're 6 deep side by side.
Yeah, this is going to start bringing that second group back into the race here again. They're starting to close that gap back down. As it looks like Kyle and Ott actually dipped out of line there. That's interesting. But looking at those lap times there last lap, yeah, the second group was faster by about 3 or 4 tenths, just because of all that chaos at the front of the group. And I expect it to happen here again, where they should be faster, just because of all the chaos that's happening. Look at this at the front, man.
They're down a 4.5 second deficit from Vulpes to the back of that pack. So they're just going to keep methodically chipping away as these guys in the front here, they're just going side by side as there's 10 to go or something. Very exciting racing up at the front. Matt Tucker assumes control of the high line. He is the leader as Jack Sanders gets a little bit of an errant push from Matthew Fritz, gets him a little wiggly there, but he makes the recovery. Fritz gives him the room, and they're just going to reset and go for it again. Tucker dips a lane low. You see Steve Lewis look on the outside. Tucker drops down low and takes the spot away from Sanders. And he's going to assume control on the bottom. Steve Lewis is going to maintain up top with Bolander pushing him. Joe, they got to be getting close to talking when they're going to pit here. This is getting really dicey.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of lap 24, start of 25. This will be the bare minimum, the first lap that we'll see anybody pit, I would say, is this time around right here. We may see a couple takers. We may see more than a few, mattering on how much fuel they have left and if they feel like they can go any more laps. So expect some hands out the window here, see?
Yeah, we'll see if we have any takers this first time around as Steve Lewis gets out in front trying to get credit for a lap lead tonight. Steve Lewis, another one of those guys, been consistent, locked in to the playoffs, but would love to get a bonus point or two if he can win tonight. They're going to drop down low.
Yep.
I think these guys are going to form up in here, and I think they're talking about when they're pitting here. So a lot to see. Lap car.
Cars pitting. We got everything going on. Only 3 cars pitting here.
Okay, so the allies Fritz, Stinson, and Parham pit together. The Venom Racing contingency are going to be our first takers on lap 26 tonight. So we only had 3 that time around, Joe. Usually they're strength in numbers, so I'm a little bit concerned. So we'll see how the size of the next group will be.
Yeah, 3. I don't think 3 is enough for them to really be able to make this work. I think to make it work, you need to have at least 5 for it to be effective enough.
Oh, nobody's...
3 might get the job done, though. We'll see if they can prove me wrong.
So we're going to enter turn 3, and we're going to see if Steve Lewis leads them down or if it's going to go another lap green. Steve Lewis in that 88, he's going to control the action. Let's see if anybody. Bolander drops down. Steve Lewis drops down. Smith, yep, your leaders are down. So top 10 decides to go down pit road. Our front pack does go down, and the second group makes up a lot of time entering behind them. Look at all that chaos.
Yeah, that was big right there. The first group was a lot more conservative than the second group. They really wanted to close that gap, make it work. I think they may have made it up. See, I think we're going to have one big pack here after this pit stop.
What a hell of a pit entry. Look at this service up and down the field. That was amazing to watch unfold as that second group really did handle it aggressively, and they made up a lot of time. So we're going to see how everybody exits as you see the leaders of the front group start breaking away, and they're mixing in with those of the second group. So it's one big pack exiting pit road. Look at all this chaos again. Cars everywhere.
Yeah, we got cars going side by side. That's not going to work out. They're trying to all
figure it out.
get their way into line. The 88 and the 57, they haven't figured it out yet. The 88's on the flat. Still, he's calling backwards.
Oh my goodness. So what was a flawless pit entry has a few hiccups as you see cars getting separated. I think we're going to have another disaster as groups form and cars get separated from the lead pack, Joe, if they don't figure it out fast.
Yeah, it looks like that checkup there from the 88 may have separated them from the other group. And look at this, you know, they did. I think they proved me wrong here. Look at that. They're going to take the lead there. See, the three Venom Racing cars.
I'm going to eat crow here. These three made it work, and they stayed ahead of all but Daniel Smith. And so, you know, their strategy was amazing. And, you know, fewer cars, fewer opportunities for a mistake to happen, and perfectly executed entry and exit, and they've maintained their presence up in the lead, Joe. And look at the gap they have as we have this second pack situation again. You see Richard Swingle down there on pit road. I don't know if he had an issue, as he is now a lap down.
Yeah, so Jax Duvall, Richard Swingle, they both, of course, like I mentioned earlier, they started from the pit lane, and that's come to bite them in the butt here as they fall a lap down. Other cars a lap down. You see Sean Walden with his issues from earlier in the race. He's still a lap down here. And I believe Tom Lester as well with some problems. He's a lap down now as well.
So the gamble for an early caution with the strategy to start the race from the pits, not working out just yet as we've had our first green flag pit stop. So they're going to need a lot of help and a couple yellow flags to salvage their race today if things continue to go as they are. As you see, Justin Parham now is going to take control of your race lead as we approach lap 30 tonight. He's got Matthew Fritz and Jay Stinson behind him there. Highline we have forming up Bolander, you have Daniel Plant Smith and Matt Tucker. So, you know, the guys that have basically kind of racing each other up front, they're just at it again side by side, just maintaining the pace of the race and just kind of mixing it up a little bit and just giving us a little bit of action on the TVs. You see more cars on the bottom there. You know, David Owens was able to make a recovery. Joe Volpus was able to recover from being separated. Jax Duvall, the lap down car, he's actually in the draft now, so he can
Brandon Guerin, there's another one. Look at them. They're going to shoot the middle. Guerin and Volp is going to shoot the middle. Z3 wide.
Shooting the gap. 3 wide of Talladega on lap 30. Look at that. Brandon Guerin in that 57 machine with the Valvoline 6 of Joe Volpus pushing him right up the gut as we're 3 wide on the backstretch. This is awesome.
We're going to have some tight racing here. See, you know, like you said, this packs got separated again, and this is going to invite that second group to catch right back up. Is this chaotic 3-wide racing
David
here?
Owens helping in the middle. Look at this. The Gulf Coast Racing and East Coast Alliance contingency against the world of Talladega. As you have the Venom Racing on the bottom from other series, and then you have just an incredible Bolander controlling the pace up top there. Alliances, enemies, they're everywhere. This is all that you would expect out of a super speedway race. Look at them mixing it up here. We're only not even to halfway, Joe.
Oh, they're getting really tight with each other here. Want to make sure we don't create a wreck.
Stinson with the side draft to try to pull himself forward there as they've lost a little bit of time with their teammates. Jack Sanders trying to give him the healthy nudge to get back up there. As you see Brandon Guerin shutting the door, cutting him off, and he's trying to get back up to the front there. He wants to make a race of it today. He said, I got separated. Now that I'm up here, I want to have some fun. That 57 machine looks fast today.
Yeah, the 57 car working his way forward. Had some help there from the 6 and the 8. Now he's found his way up front here on the bottom. We'll see if he can get some friends back with him here to help him. It looks like he might have one not too far behind him there. I think that's a 25 car as he gets way out of shape.
gets a little
So
bit out of shape. Jack Sanders looking to help him out, and David Brenner just saying, "Please don't mess up. I want to stay alive here." Duval up there up top, just smiling and waving. You guys, you can go ahead. I'm good. A lot of chances, a lot of risk being taken. Not yet halfway through the race, so they're not just content to ride. They want to mix it up, and they want to show dominance early and often. As you see, Andrew Bolander is going to take your lead up there on the high line. Matt Tucker is giving him a good shove. Daniel Plant Smith, and we just see the same recurring themes, and these guys are just committed to working with each other.
yeah, same thing with the guys here on the bottom, though. You see Vulpes, Garand, and Owens working together again, just in a different order this time. This time, Garand is pushing Vulpes instead of the other way around. So we'll see if Vulpes was actually able to get that front nose damage fixed this time, or if he may still be a bit of a boat anchor. I think there might still be a little dent in there if my eyes are not deceiving me. So there might still be a little bit of a hindrance here.
So there was no repairs taken, as there was no time to. The focus was to get caught up and get out with those leaders. Volp is still fast enough to be quite competitive today, so it's only a mild injury, if that. And I'm sure if we have time later on, they'll be able.
Oh, there it is. It looks pretty. I think it looks pretty popped out, actually.
Yeah, they got most of it out there, and it looks like it's good as we ride on with the roof cam of Daniel Smith giving us a hand here as we're able to spot out. I still see just a slight crease, but it's not what it was. So he'll probably be able to get the rest of that out after the next service. So I think Joe Vulpes is in really good shape right now. David Owens happy to oblige, helping him out. And those two are definitely a duo at super speedways. So very fitting. They're working together. And, a lot of action up here. I think they didn't take tires. It was a fuel-only deal this lap. Do you think if we stay green, Joe, that we'll have to take right sides at the very least for the next stop, if not four?
I don't think tires are necessary unless you do something to slide them. There's not really that much wear that the drivers are seeing with these general tires. The only way these tires are really going to wear is if there's like a big wreck and you start sliding them across the pavement. So if that happens, then I think we're going to see people use one of their two sets that they have laying in the pits.
So once again, staying true to form, the general tire for this ARCA series definitely takes a beating and holds up over long green flag runs. So tires not so much the concern unless you really, really have to use them. So we're looking forward to seeing at least another 15 laps before we get to see that rodeo once again. And you know what? I think it's a rather fitting time, Joe, since we're almost to halfway. How about we crank it up?
Yeah, let's give them a little fun here.
we're back after an extended Crank It Up session. You wanted more, we gave you more. As we're at lap 39, approaching lap 40 of 75 tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Andrew Molander is your leader currently, as we have been green wire to wire thus far, and you know, plenty to unpack here, Joe. Just a little race recap here. We started lap 1, had a pretty fair, clean restart. David Owens, Kyle Lynott, and Sean Walton make a hell of a run on the outside line to take an early lead. And then there was an instance where a second pack fell behind and was playing catch-up until the first pit cycle. And most of them have been able to rejoin, Joe, so we almost have everybody running together again.
Yeah, and the fact that we've been green flagged this far has been pretty incredible as well. We needed that longer crank it up so I can enjoy my hot fudge sundae here before it melted. Man, we didn't really get any caution flags in here for me to enjoy my ice cream there, see?
You in the pits eating ice cream? Are you kidding me? So anyway, all bad jokes aside, I know I was a little parched, and yeah, the ice cream sounds really good right about now. But we got a race to run, so we'll think about 1 or 2 scoops later. As you see, Steve Lewis there, he's leading a contingency there of a smaller second group that's kind of fallen behind. But after that first pit cycle, we saw Steve Lewis get a little side-by-side on pit exit, and it unfortunately caused a few guys to separate. You see Tommy Fox behind him in the 00. He was a part of that as well, and I believe Matt Novella behind him. Panzarella for the second time tonight gets separated. David Brenner this time is a victim of love, and behind him you see the Jonathan Flamion in the 915. He's a part of that contingency, so not as many numbers as the last time, so they're really going to have their hands full trying to dig out or at least try to maintain the gap, Joe.
Yeah, the thing I'm looking at in that second group, the guy that concerns me the most being back there right now is Zach Panzarella being in that second group. He's a second wild card driver with the way they currently run on the track, with Buddy Sully up there in 4th place. And of course, a little bit of a points advantage between him and Sean Walton. So with Panzarella being this far back, he's in that danger zone right now, even with Sean having a bad run. And if I'm looking up front, Brandon Guerin's right now, he's making that run. He's the one guy up there that could spoil the party right now for him.
Yeah, so Zach Panzarella gets separated from the lead pack for the second time tonight, the DDI driver out of California. Sean Walton, lap down, he doesn't know what he's doing per his driver information, so that puts him in a precarious situation. And Brandon Guerin in the ultimate win and in scenario, it's a script that has not fully written itself yet, but you look at all the action and you wonder to yourself, is it going to remain this way, or what's going to happen 5 laps from now? What's going to happen 10 laps from now? And as we get closer to the next cycle of green flag pit stops, and then as we get closer to the finish, what's got to be going on in the minds of these drivers? It's all things considered. There's a lot going on, Joe.
Yeah, the one thing that these guys are going to have to be aware of is the second green flag pit stop. No mistakes can be had by these drivers. It is going to be the money stop for the race. If you make a mistake on this pit stop, there's no way you're going to come back from it. We want to make sure we avoid speeding. We want to avoid unsafe pit entry, pit exit, all of the things here that are so very, very easy to do at a fast track such as Talladega, especially pitting in a group. So I think the first round went fairly clean, except for that checkup that we saw that separated the groups again. So that also could play a factor in who has a chance to win here at the end of the race as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were almost there with that first pit cycle. It was poetry unfolding there on the pit entry, and it was nearly as flawless on exit. But unfortunately, that did occur. So those guys just falling deeper and deeper back You know, they're hoping maybe these guys can get racy again. Maybe something happens and it's like a debris caution, if you will. Maybe not so much the big one, where they can at least get back up to the front and try to re-rack them and be a part of the lead pack and get racing again.
Yeah, you see these guys are getting a bit separated right now, going a little bit 3 wide again. This kind of raciness is what that second group really needs. But you know what I'm looking at is there's a couple guys right in front of this lead group, actually, that are falling back into them, about to go another lap down here. Sean Walton and Juan Delgado, who's on the tail end of the lead lap right now. Another one of those drivers that really needs to have a good day is about to go a lap down, see?
Yeah, so, Sean Walton, he can't afford to bleed another lap here. His day will go bad to worse. Juan Delgado, the solid rookie, have an amazing race after race. He's going to fall back into the clutches. The super speedway taking its victims one by one today. So unless we see a big reversal of fortune here, the way this race is going, these guys are in serious trouble right now, and that could really have dramatic implications on the playoff situation, on who gets in and who's on the outside looking in, as Andrew Bolander says, I wanted this trophy tonight, or I want to lead laps, and he's going to remain your leader as we enter lap 47 of 75 tonight. So we're past halfway. We're roughly 3 to 5 laps from next green flag pit stops, if I'm not mistaken. We're kind of in this middle segment of the race as we kind of position ourselves. This could be the money stop coming up, Joe.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, want to make sure we have no mistakes. Nice, clean, on-off pit road, no mistakes. Stay with the lead group, no checkups, and make it as good as you can. These guys, you see them going around the track here. I think right now it looks like there's about 12 here in this lead group that are on the lead lap. Buddy Sully is the one right now that's tailing them all. He's the caboose of the group. So those guys, if this thing goes green, are the guys that I think are in the contention for the win, because looking at the lap times right now, I don't really think that second group's gaining a whole lot on them. They're losing time to the lead group. Actually, they lost 7/10 that last lap. So even with all this 3 wide action that we see going on here, they're still losing time.
They just don't have the sheer combo of drivers to push, or the sheer numbers of cars, despite the raciness of the lead pack. Steve Lewis doing all that he can, Matt Novelli doing all that he can, trying to get out there, get a little sniff, keep that car cool. Zach Panzarella maybe having a little difficulty breathing as well. He's off of Novella. As you see David Brenner there, he is off Panzarella. So these guys, they're having a lot of issues. It's a little 5-car, they're just kind of trapped back there. And even though you see them, there's even a couple cars behind them that could really use the help of some race control assistance, or they're going to go a lap down. You've got Kyle Anott and John Beverly. They were able to start with that second pack, but they somehow were broken apart. So you have these guys working together with the lap down car of Richard Swingle, and their day is going to be going from bad to serious jeopardy, as they're probably at least 19 to 20 seconds down, almost half a lap to this lead pack. And David Owens looking to lead a lap here today, as David Owens approaches lap 50 in that NOS Energy number 8. Zero Chill himself, David Owens out of Mobile, Alabama. He's the 2-time Bonfire Racing League champion. He's here on your Friday Night Thunder to amaze, to entertain. He's David Owens. And Joe Volpus on the high line. He's trying to get some action going there with Sean Walton. Maybe he can get a few others to join him, and they can get kind of pulled up with the leaders. As you see, it's more of a single-line breakaway. I'm really thinking these guys are starting to talk on the radio, and I think a few of them are trying to work out when they're going to pit. So I think we're trying to stage that formation, if I'm not mistaken, Joe.
Oh, they're getting a little tight. Oh, the 11 car looks like he's going to lap down. He's going to hold up the 6 car as he gets caught behind him here.
Tom Lester off the pace a little bit, going a lap down there.
No!
Contact as you see, Lester spins Vulpes as we go under caution for the first time today on lap 51 of 75 from Talladega on Friday Night Thunder. Joe Vulpes gets spun by Tom Lester in the 11 car. Well, there was a little nose damage on there at first. Hopefully there's no body damage or underbody damage after that. It looks like he kept it reasonably clean after the contact, but my oh my, he takes a wild ride.
Yeah, the car spun around like a top there. Not going to be good. This is the kind of instance we're talking about where they need to take a set of tires. Joe will definitely need to take one there.
So we go on board with the Chantilly Lace replay cam. You know, he comes up a little bit. The 6 goes down a little bit. So there's definitely going to be some door and left side contact, and those tires are definitely flat spotted. So I don't know if he'll consider using the fast repair that this series offers, but I know he will come and take 4 freshies at the minimum.
Yeah, lost a lot of track position there back in 17th after that spin.
So this is going to help out a lot of guys as it bunches the field back together. You know, a couple guys looking to try to get their lap back here. I don't know, like Sean Walton, he's desperately trying to get back on the lead lap, so he can try to improve his chances. As you see, the leaders, David Owens leads them down, Bolander right behind, Jack Sanders in third. They're going to get what's potentially the final stop of the race tonight. But as you know, super speedways are a recipe for anything can happen at any time. Robert Babcock getting his service, and Matt Novella, Zach Panzarella, they're getting their service. Beverly in for his. Juan Delgado back there as well. And Brandon Garand exits. Vulpes in for his service. It looks like Joe is just getting his freshies and just working out the damage, or did he take that fast repair?
I think it just had maybe minor damage, if anything. Yeah, you can see with him sitting here, definitely fixing probably a little bit of minor damage as there he goes out of his pit stall.
ARCA car takes a little bit of a beating from my experience. You still don't want to rough him up too much, but you know, that's very encouraging. You know, he just minor damage after that. He'll still be really good aero-wise when we go back green.
Yeah, I think your lucky dog there was actually Jax Duvall, so good on him.
So Florida man alert.
He's back in the race. And yes. I think we're going to have a wave around here as well. I think Tommy Fox might have gotten his pit stop in before the caution came out. I think he's looking to get a wave around here along with the 23 of Sean Walden as well.
So Tommy Fox there, he's just trying to take advantage of that. Sean Walton desperately trying to get back onto the lead lap tonight, as he needs to at least secure current points position there, right on the border of in or wild card. So Sean Walton desperately looking to get back on the lead lap. Jax Duvall getting his service. He's out clean, so he will be back on the lead lap. Look to see him in the Goldfish 84 make a run to the front.
Yeah, this is that time of the race, money time. You know, started from the pits, expected some chaos, didn't get it. But now has fought his way back to the lead lap. So we know how good he is at draft tracks. 25 laps, plenty of time for him to get to the front.
I've seen this before.
Definitely seen this before. The 18's going to come down and get some extra fuel, it looks like.
Bolander going to top off for potential green-white checker attempts, maybe?
That would be my only guess here.
Surely he was able to get the full fuel load on the initial stop. So looks like a little splash and go. Maybe he had a little optional damage.
It's possible. I think that was more of a splash and dash, though, if you ask me.
Absolutely. So Bolander and, you know, planning for potential overtime tonight. Richard Swingle possibly as well, you know, as he's going to try to get you know, his lap back, as he is one of the few that are trapped a lap down. So they're looking and hoping for more yellows, as long as they're not a victim. Lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to go back green. You know, it's going to be 23 to go when we go back green. What are we looking to see when we do go racing again?
I think we're going to see a lot of chaos. It's go time. There's no need to pit the car again here under green flag conditions if it does go green to the end. We're looking to make sure that the 8 car doesn't blink like you just did there. If you didn't see
Yeah,
that there, I don't
quite
know if you saw that.
curious. Little bit of connectivity issues there as he's blinking. So that can be problematic, whether it's a random thing or it's a repetitive thing. Hopefully he can get that straightened out, and iRacing doesn't give him a free ride to pit road. Jack Sanders right behind him, hoping that he stops blinking, because when a car blinks, especially at a draft-dependent track, when that car's blinking, they are useless at that point. You cannot receive effect off of them. They in no way help aid your car. So David Owens needs to be solid. And it's also very distracting when you're going at that high rate of speed and all that motion and quick movement going all around your periphery. So come on, David Owens, let's get it together. Pace car is going to go off this time as we're going to go back green with 23 to go from Talladega on Friday Night Thunder, the ARCA series on MRL Broadcasting.
Sometime this week they'll come into the restart zone.
It is. So,
there it is.
Unlike Daytona, where they would have been going, they're going green now. David Owens leads the charge as he has a 3-car breakaway up top. Daniel Plant-Smith on the bottom didn't get off as clean, trying to get shoved back up the pace. They slide down as
I think there was some contact further on back. I think the 77 and the 1 car may have gotten together there on that restart. I saw a car shoot to the left.
Zach Panzarella making contact. Spotter said clear. The 77, no, you're not. But they do recover, and we're going back green. The thing is to get back up the pace and not get separated yet again, Zach Panzarella. So let's see if that happens and they get back to racing. As you see, they're starting to get separated again. Hopefully they can work it out and get caught back up before they get up to speed. Joe Volp is trying to lead the charge. He's been a dominant aero car tonight. It looks like that car is nice and clean as Panzarella comes up nice and snug and gives him a shove as they desperately try to get with that lead pack. Already on the restart, there's a gap.
Yeah, these guys need to get sorted out real quick. It looks like the 23 and the 18 are going to work their way to the front of the group and are going to try and lead it to get it back to this lead group. As you see, I believe that's supposed to be Babcock there in the wrong paint scheme as he almost hooks the 22.
Babcock normally in the 2, showing the 48 for whatever reason, but Robert Babcock there getting a little tangled up as David Brenner and Steve Lewis find a way to separate and navigate. David Owens on the bottom trying to lead the charge back up to the front. Jack Sanders and Brandon Guerin helping him as Matthew Fritz is behind them. Look at Matt Novella on the high line. Matt Novella bringing Kyle Lynott and Brenner into the fold as the high line has the numbers and the momentum as Matt Tucker leads them with 22 to go. It'll be 21 at the line as we're 3 wide now. 3 wide as David Owens on the bottom leads the charge to try to even things up as Tucker leads the line in the middle. Kyle Lynott has him going chugging high on the outside with David Brenner behind him and Steve Lewis in the fray. Matt Novella is going to join him up top as we're 3 wide, 4x4, 5x5, wide. Let's go racing, boys.
Oh, looks like some guys might be trying to peek their nose to go 4 wide, which would really create some chaos here. 3 wide is hard enough.
Causing the second group to catch up rapidly, so they're going to be in the fray here shortly as we're 3x3 going racing with 21 to go. Business is picking up as the J-Daddy machine is up high, scrapes the wall a little bit, but makes a dazzling recovery. Matthew Fritz beside him in the 95. They're going to find a way to work together and try to charge to the front. Still 3 wide as you see Kyle Lynott down in the middle there. He is going to try to swoop down and take the lead from Matt Tucker, and there's going to be a little contact with Steve Lewis.
Yeah, it looks like he couldn't really decide if he wanted to come down to that middle lane or not. That has completely killed the outside line's momentum, though. Completely halted them. As it looks like they're getting chaotic up front. I think they shuffled out the 35 car of Matt Tucker. He's in the sucker hole now in the middle.
He is. They're getting swallowed in the middle as you see the second pack has regained control and has blended in with the rest of the leaders. It's chaotic up here as they're 3 wide. David Owens leads the charge of getting pushed by Jack Sanders and Brandon Guerin in tow on the bottom. David Owens trying to make his claim, the Alabama native, to take his home track crown tonight. David Owens on the bottom with Jack Sanders as Kyle Lynott leads him up high with Steve Lewis giving him a shove from up top. Daniel Plant-Smith looking to go down in the middle as the middle line trying to to take a charge and blend down to the bottom. It's chaos everywhere. Look at how they're fanning out.
Yeah, this bottom line, though, is getting very organized very quick. And you can see how they're starting to compact their way back down to 2 lines because of it. They're 4 wide there in the middle
Chaos.
of turn 2.
Oh, it's getting really dicey. It can happen
Oh,
at any time.
no.
It happens. It happens. Zach Panzarella around. Zach Panzarella around. They're spread out everywhere as we have a major accident and brings us under caution with 19 to go.
I think that was 4 wide gone wrong there. See, let's see from the replay.
Yeah. Chantilly Lace brings us the views, and we're going 3 wide here as you see Beverly and Novella up top. David Owens slides, gets a little loose. Matt Novella gets scared. Beverly follows him into the air suckle, but they do recover, and it looks like David Brenner
just ran out of space.
Over recovers. It just gets tight. That air packs the car, and it gets very tight, and you run out of room really quick as you close in at a high rate of speed. David Brenner locked up there. He's going to have a little damage on that left side as Juan Delgado makes a little contact as he's locked it up. Beverly shooting down to the bottom to avoid all of it. There's chaos everywhere.
I saw a lot of guys that needed to get a good run or actually pretty much a win here today involved in that. David Brenner, Juan Delgado, John Beverly. That's 3 of your big heavy hitters that really needed to get a good result today in order to make the chase. And they were all involved in that wreck there, see. So not a good sign for them.
Well, there are so many laps left. And, you know, it looks like we've only just begun with the shenanigans as things really picked up dramatically from caution to caution in that stint. So, yeah, for Delgado, for Beverly, for even Garand, who stayed out of trouble, you know, when you see the cars out of control and you see smoke in your mirror or coming at you, you may have that fast repair, but you can't count on that, especially with so many laps remaining and the possibility of it occurring once more or twice more. So some of these guys got off lucky. Others may have to play their hand a little sooner than they planned to.
Yeah, I think everybody here that's pitting probably has some sort of damage. I would assume. I don't really think there's any other reason to pit at this point in the race.
No, so you see Buddy Solly, he may have had a little bit of damage there. He gets his car addressed. He's out. He can't afford to have a bad night either, as he is hanging in the balance for a playoff position. So David Brenner as well, he's in a winning get-in scenario. So, you know, his life flashed before his eyes during that scenario as he got a little loose and that air kind of pushed him up to start that chain reaction. So, you know, everybody's trying to test the limits and see how far they can push them. And I only feel like they're going to up the ante as we get inside of 10 laps to go. We'll be most likely going to be 15 to go when we go back racing, Joe. So to your point, that's just going to get more and more high stakes.
Yep. Looking at the guys at the front here, so David Owens, of course, he's got 2 wins on the season already. He's locked in. Daniel Plant-Smith, not locked in, needed a good run here just to stay on the plus side of the cut line. And he's doing that right now, running in second. Jack Sanders, part-time. Same with Bolander. They're out there trophy hunting. Lewis, save on points. So the first guy right now that I'm looking at that needs to get up front there or get a win, that's Brandon Garand in 6th place. That's the highest running guy so far out of the group of guys that need to get up front in that must-win situation. So we'll see if he's able to get it done here as he does his best to do it here. Looks like he might be restarting in 5th or 6th here. So
yeah, so
pretty
he's going
to
have a very favorable starting position when we do go back green, as he is the first one in a must-win situation in the running order. So we'll keep our eyes on the 57 machine, and we'll also look back a little bit further as you know, Buddy Solly there, he had to address probably a little bit of damage on that caution. You know, he needs to be up towards the front and have the best finish possible, if not a win tonight, to bolster and secure a spot in the playoffs. So, you know, he has a lot at stake. And Kyle not coming in, maybe fixing a little more damage. I can't foresee a splash and go as we are well within the fuel window. Beverly coming in. He inspected his damage on the first time in and decided to come back in and utilize his fast repair. So he is without a safety net, as we'll go green with 15 to go, and a lot of racing left. So race recap. Our producer. So our race recap tonight. We are in lap 61 of 76. We've had 2 cautions. David Owens is our race leader and will be when we go back green. There have been 21 lead changes tonight, 8 different leaders. So what does that tell you, Joe, with a little bit of variety tonight?
Yeah, I think we're looking at a little bit more variety than we actually saw for Daytona just a few weeks ago. And I think that's really attributed down to just the wider nature of this track. To be honest with you, there, C, because we all know how the track really can be. So when we look at Daytona just 2 weeks ago, or well, 2 races ago, 3 weeks ago, we're actually pretty much right on par with it. That race had 10 different leaders, 29 lead changes in it. So I would expect there to probably be another couple leaders and a few more lead changes to get right there with that number on the last 16 laps. C. What do you think?
Oh, well, we thank you, buddy, our producer, for that awesome graphic there to help us in the booth and the viewers at home or on the go. So I think, yeah, absolutely to your point. And once this pace car peels off, it's going to be essentially every man for himself. Yeah, you're going to have your alliances, but as we get closer and closer, you may see some guys that don't have a chance at the playoffs help somebody that can get into the playoffs as we fire off green again. David Owens, your leader, 15 to go as we go green from Talladega on Friday Night Thunder on MRL Broadcasting. Daniel Plant-Smith on the high line getting a huge shove by Andrew Bolander up high. Matthew Tucker on third in line up top with Joe Volpus with him, as it's going to be a side-by-side action as we are green and they're getting up the speed as we exit turn 2. David Owens is
there's
blinking.
some blinking.
And David Owens is around, and we're going to have the big one here. Most people got through. Caution is out as David Owens has some kind of technical issue that's affected the race in some way.
Looks like there was almost a wreck under caution there with the 1 and the 95. The 8 car, though, blinked out of existence, and I think that created the caution for my racing, if I'm not mistaken.
So the 8 has a connectivity issue with upload packet, etc., words I don't understand. And iRacing triggers a caution tonight. It looks like everything was going well there, side by side, and then all of a sudden, bloop, David Owens blips away. He comes back, he blips again, and then he's back, but he starts drifting, and it creates a situation where he gets turned, but
he just morphs through everybody.
He just kind of ghosts through everybody. I don't know if it created incident points for other drivers, but iRacing did trigger the caution, and seeing his car
that
there,
looked like a solid hit.
That was definitely a solid hit, as you see David Owens make contact there, but you would think Zach Panzarella kind of scrapes by there, so that's a very scary moment for Zach. But Joe, to my point, you would think that once David Owens was turned and he wasn't like in a blinked out view, that it would have triggered like the big one there because everybody was coming to make contact with him. So that was weird. Is there any way that you can walk us through what potentially happened there?
iRacing may have just tried to save the field there, which I don't think I've ever seen iRacing try and save the field from that before, but it's very possible that there may be a bit of a delay now with cars becoming back to being full-on fledged solid objects, and maybe that just saved the field there. I think maybe Tommy Fox and the 1 car of Zach Panzarella may have gotten some damage. The only car that I know for certain got damage would be the 8 car, because even though he morphed through everybody, his car definitely will register at least some of those hits and gave him some damage.
So a pretty unique situation. So either iRacing putting in measures to aid in races and try to help make it fair in a technical glitch situation, or I'm leaning towards this one. Maybe the iRacing gods favor the MRL. I don't know, but either way, a big one avoided, despite David Owens having some difficulty. Under caution once more, Joe. We're going to be almost to 10 to go when we go back green. So clearly, we've seen the aggression and the strategy ratchet up as these drivers are willing to make more risky moves and take all the risks and then some. So more of the same is my thinking. What are you thinking?
What I'm thinking is Sean Walton just got back on the lead lap, and we've seen how aggressive he is being a lap down this race. So he's going to be on the lead lap at the back of the field.
So there he is. Maybe
LeBron
he does
James,
know.
Game 7, 2012, or I think that's actually 2013 heat picture.
I think that's
against
13.
the Spurs.
Yep.
So
maybe he does know what he's doing. So I
guess we're going to find out.
Yeah. So Sean Walton back on the lead lap. So just methodically, just trying to just keep focused. Keep digging. Hope for the cautions. Hope things break your way. And he is back on the lead lap. And we're gonna see what he has in store for the field. Duval, he's on the lead lap as well. So, when we go back green, it's going to be very interesting. I see Duval trying to make a march to the front here. I think this is probably about that time where you'll see him, maybe testing a few things out. Richard Swingle back in the pits, just not having the day he was hoping for, Joe. Just not there.
Yeah, just out there trying to trophy hunt, starting from pit road. It's just gone downhill from there for him today. Still looking to get back to the front. So what I'm looking at here is what we're looking at the front of the field. So outside row, we got the 18 and the 35 together. You got the 31 leading the race. So I'm going to assume he's going to probably try and get a good lead and jump to the high side. But then I'm looking at this bottom lane. So we got Jack Sanders, Brandon Garand, Joe Vulpes, and then we got Buddy Sully behind him. So we got those four in a row on the bottom of the line there, with a pretty clean shot here, I would assume, because I would assume Daniel Plant-Smith's going to try and go to the high side and work with his buddies, and it may leave those four to having a clean shot to take control of this race.
What I'm also seeing is on the last restart, it felt like there were some games being played with some checking up and shuffling of speed. So we'll be looking at that on the restart as well, seeing if anybody tries to get a jump or an advantage over another. So things are getting really dicey and testing the limits of racecraft and sportsmanship. So the super speedway living up to its name. I just love it, and I can't wait until we go green here, Joe. With be 11 to go. Just an ideal situation. So let's watch the action unfold. Daniel Plant-Smith going to be leading us down once the pace car exits. Andrew Bolander will be second outside the first row there in the 18 M&M's machine. And we'll see Jack Sanders, see how much he's going to help Daniel Smith, and we'll see how much Matt Tucker helps out Bolander as we're approaching the restart zone. Going back green, 11 to go. Talladega, Friday Night Thunder. MRL Broadcasting. Daniel Plant-Smith fires off with the restart. Jack Sanders gives them a really good shove as they get a small advantage out front. Side by side, you have Brandon Guerin and Andrew Bolander. Matthew Tucker and Jay Stinson trying to push them up top. Steve Lewis back behind him. Justin Parham round out your high line. Behind the 57, you have Joe Vulpes. Behind him, you have the action unfold. There is a little two-car breakaway. Did they get out too far, or is everybody going to reel them in? As you see Sanders to the bottom, Smith to the top. 11 to go. Will be going turn 3. There's 3 wide. 3 wide as the chaos ensues. Brandon Guerin on the bottom.
25 got shuffled out there. It seemed like got put in a spot where he couldn't really do much of anything. Now you got Vulpes pushing the 57. Remember, Vulpes pushed Buddy Sully to the win just a few weeks ago at Daytona and helped him potentially punch his ticket. Can he do the same here for Brandon Garan tonight at Talladega?
Joe Volpus giving him all he can, shoving him down as we go enter turn one. His car's around in the back. As looks like John Flamian goes around in the 915. A little bit of activity in the back of the field brings out our next caution with 10 to go as things are continuing. The stress is continuing to increase. The pressure is mounting. John Flamian in the 915 in the mellow yellow machine goes around, brings out our latest caution tonight as we look at the Chantilly Lace replay. Yeah, it looks like, you know, we're kind of just fanned out. We're all over the place, really. Not really formed up too well. And the 915 kind of just drifts up and...
that neck mode that started that?
You know, it may very well have been. It looked like it could have been. And it just triggers what looks like the 23 spinning him. Let's take another look. He does turn a little bit.
See, look right there. It looks like it's sort of like triggering contact, and it just kind of like sucks him in, is what it looks like.
Right. It like he pushed off a little bit and then sucked back in, triggering the spin. So I think netcode had a little bit to do with that. I think it aided in what happened to bring out our caution. So the 915 machine going to have to go in for some repairs, and I think the 23 and the 00 going to have to maybe enter pit road and take a look at their noses, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, they're already towards the back of the field, so not really that big of a risk for the 23 to come down and check his stuff to make sure his car is still in good shape. I don't think it'll really cost him anything. Jax Duvall going to get another lucky dog here, it looks like. Get back on the lead lap for a second time here tonight and make it 22 cars on the lead lap here as we get under 10 laps to go.
Yep, the 84 said, I don't have to be up front the whole race. I just have to be up there when it matters. So he'll be back on the lead lap, the Florida man in the 84 Goldfish Chevrolet. The SS is going to go ahead.
I think the 00 is having trouble there. See, I think I think he just had to take a tow, maybe. Yeah, look at it. It's not turning.
He's a little stuck. It just won't turn left. So he's going to take the assist, and oh boy, that's really tough for the 00. I just hate that for him. As you see, David Owens and Matt Novella going to enter pit road. Matt Novella, a little bit of damage you can see on the front there. He's going to go ahead and get that addressed. We'll see if he takes the fast repair. John Flamian, he's going to come in. I don't know. Looks like Novella is looking at the damage and scoping it out. I think he's getting it repaired, so looks like...
Yeah, I don't think he has a lot looking at his car.
Look, it was just minor enough you can bang out that nose a little bit, and the 915 off. It looked like he took his fast repairs. That was a lot of heavy damage on that incident, and the 11 to Lester exits pit road as well. So yeah, Tommy Fox there. He's going to have to be there at least another minute before they can address under the towing policy. So the 00, just a stroke of bad luck tonight, Talladega. Daniel Smith, another one that was really needing a good performance, as starting the race tonight makes him eligible for qualifying for the playoff. So he's doing his part as your current leader, Joe.
Just needed to have a decent run here. Actually, with his competition really not doing so well today, just keeping this car in one piece is gonna make it a very, very easy transfer for him here today, I believe. Sean Walton not having a good race. Buddy Sully just inside the top 10. I don't see Panzarella just outside the top 10. So pretty much his closest competition is not having a good day.
See Matt Tucker playing a little shenanigans, trying to dupe some unlucky rivals into pit road. Well, I love it. So yeah, you're exactly right, Joe. So, you know, Daniel Smith, he doing what he was supposed to do up to this point. The others, you know, just still looking to answer a few questions and get their way back to the front as the laps are clicking off. So Matt Tucker doing it once more. It was very close to being a violation on that one. Got to be careful there. So we're gonna be we're gonna be 6 to go when we go back green. Are we free of the cautions, or is it just going to be cautions breed cautions at this point?
I think it's still going to be chaos. So I'm looking at the way they're lining up for this restart. Plant Smith's going to take the outside this time. So what that does is he's going to most likely try and get a good launch here, come down in front of the 18 and the 35, and work together with them. What that's going to do, though, is it's going to open up that outside again, like I was saying about last restart. The 60 car now is going to most likely be the lead car on the outside, and he's got the same three amigos behind him that are trying to push their way to the front. Garand, Volpus, and Buddy Sully right there, all together on the outside this time instead of the inside. So we'll see if they got some more magic left in them here to work their way to the front before this race is over.
So you see a lot of friendships and alliances are definitely just being formed and reprised. So it's just all about who can execute at this point. 7 to go on the backstretch under caution from Talladega. It's been an exciting regular season. Covering week to week coverage here with you in the booth, and with the way the points battle has been so tightly contested, and the dramatic differences between those running and those that are just running consistent without a win every week, it's just been a really excellent dynamic and a testament to the series really is, and just the amount of sheer talent that's in this field.
Yeah, that's a real testament to everybody. Look at that, Justin Parham. He qualified up front. Always runs up front at these tracks as we're coming to the green here.
Yeah, up front
Justin
early,
Parham, good run.
Absolutely. Up front early on the high line, working with Stinson and Fritz. So we're going to go back green here as we're going to enter the restart zone. Daniel Smith chose the high line as opposed to the inside. So we're going to see how this plays out. Bolander on the inside this time as we go back green with 7 to go from Talladega on Friday Night Thunder in ARCA series on MRL Broadcasting.
All right, here we go. 31 got that really good launch. It's playing out just like I said. He's going to drop low. The 57 pushing the 60, the 6, and the 21 in tow with him. This is exactly how I thought this was going to play out here on this restart.
Predicted it exactly, as you see the 57 giving the 60 the biggest shove he can as the 6 is behind them. Stinson controlling the action in the middles. You see the high line forming with David Owens and Matt Novella on the outside. Jack Sanders behind them. They got a serious run as you see Beverly going behind them as they got a 4-car team as Stinson gets spun by the 57 and he's in the air flipping. We're under caution again, the big one.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of the field. I think somebody got T-boned back there. There's people flying, flipping.
Stinson,
a lot of front ends missing. Get the graveyard. Get Dale Jr.'s graveyard ready on this one. That's a lot of front ends missing there. That's a lot of fast repairs coming.
Big one from Talladega with 5 to go. Serious playoff implications as you see the 57 and the 60 are not squarely aligned. You do not want to push on the right side. And what happens, a classic case, you enter the turn, he slides off the bumper, and the 60 is the casualty. He flips. Oh my goodness. Look at the casualty. Look at the carnage.
I don't know how the 56 and the 25 missed him there.
Wow. In the air, flipping. Jay Stinson somehow.
21 barely missed him. Oh, Juan Delgado.
Oh, it's pinball. We're playing pinball out here as the 14 gives the 60 another whammy. Oh my.
No, another one too.
And for the my vote for the T-bone move of the race, the 915 into the 60 for the 3rd hard contact over the 1 caution incident. Jay Stinson, Talladega unkind.
I think he does have a faster pair here that he can use. So I'm looking at the guys that were involved. Jay Stinson, I think he's going to be good to get going. Zach Panzarella, I'm not so sure about him. Volpus has a faster pair, so he'll be all right.
That's the faster pair. David Owens,
I think he may have a little damage. I think he'll be all right. Same with him.
I think they were able to mostly avoid that. Panzarella, he was definitely caught up in that. Gonna have to take a look and see what he has ahead of him. It looked like too much damage, but definitely enough to get it checked out. And then
So this
one
is
car is
this has
away.
flipped that race on its head again there. See, so
Yeah, Jay
I'm
Stinson
looking
going to
at
have to
the.
take that fast repair as you see parts being
Oh
put
yeah.
back onto the car immediately, and he's going to get those freshies. So Jay Stinson, he's going to be back and competitive once more as he gets his service. So we're going to be in what appears to be a natural green-white checkered territory when we go back to racing, and dare I say overtime.
Yeah, what I'm looking at here is there's nobody in the top 10 right now that has a chance to shake up the chase grid. So the first driver right now that has a chance to shake it up is actually 11th place David Brenner, followed closely by 12th place John Beverly. And looking at the way the field is spread out with who's a lap down, who's not,
So
those are the only two left that can really do anything here because it
Brandon
looks like
Guerin,
Brandon Grand
major
is,
issue, major
is
issues
done.
of serious playoff ramifications, serious uh, playoff elimination for Brandon Guerin. No longer able to compete for a playoff spot. Darn the luck. 57 was mounted in charge up front, working with the leaders in the mix, trying to will his way to the front. I don't know what happened there, but the car can't continue, and that's a shame, Joe.
Yeah, looking like he may have had a good chance to win the race and work his way into that final chase spot potentially has just unfortunately gone by the wayside. So I think most of the 12 drivers right now can start breathing a little more normally, unless something wild happens here and Brenner or Beverly are able to work their way into a position to win here on this green white checkered.
So Brenner and Beverly will start side by side on this restart. So, they're outside the top 10. They'll have a little bit of work to do to mount the charge. Not a lot of time left, so you're going to have to just throw everything in the middle, throw all your money into the middle because this is it. We're playing our hand, and it's time to call. So Daniel Plant Smith, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's up in the front. He's going to control the pace as we will go green. Uh, Talk a lot about Bolander today. He's been a force in that M&M's 18. He's been up front mostly all day. So we're definitely going to hear a lot from him. He has his help with Buddy Solly. Buddy Solly, he's up front. He needed a really good run today to solidify his playoff spot. So he's in a great position right now. Steve Lewis behind the 21. He's in great shape as well. Another great, top 5, top 10 performance from Steve Lewis. So, he's solidifying his playoff spot. So he's doing everything asked of him. Matt Tucker, he's, so these guys are just another day at work, just grinding. So we're going to go back green, see if one of these guys can pad their stats or maybe a new first-time winner tonight, Joe.
Yeah, we're going to see how this all plays out. Pace car is going to pull off here in a few seconds. Uh, lots on the line here, but pretty much everybody up front, I think they're not worried about points. We want to go out there and win this thing, so I think it's going to get chaotic here. I think we're going to be 3 and 4 wide for the win.
All right, so we're going to put all the ingredients into the blender. We're going to put the cover over the top. We're going to have the pace car pull off, and we're going to hit scramble as we're going to go back green with 2 to go. And everything on the line for the regular season finale at Talladega on Friday Night Thunder. Daniel Plant Smith in the restart zone goes early, gets a great restart, but the 18 gets almost as good a restart as we go 2 to go at the line as we're under side-by-side cover. Daniel Plant Smith on the bottom getting pushed by Matt Tucker. Andrew Bolander on the top getting pushed by Buddy Solly. Is anybody's guess as we're all getting up to speed from Talladega entering pit 2, turn 2.
18 car is going to get shuffled to the middle there. See, 3 wide down the backstretch.
3 wide down the backstretch as you see the 99 go to the bottom, getting pushed by the 95 of Matthew Fritz. Look at them up top being led by the 21 of Buddy Solly, getting pushed by Steve Owens and the 77 of John Beverly and Kyle Anott. The high line got the mojo going, but contact in the wall. Contact wall. Steve Lewis in the wall. Anott, contact. We're getting dicey.
A lot of really aggressive moves there to move down. Buddy Sully going to take control of the race here, comes to the white flag.
Chaos 2, 3, 4, 5 wide as we go through the tri-oval white flag at Talladega on Friday Night Thunder. It's anybody's guess as we're 3 wide.
Oh, there's a lot of contact. See, they're wrecking.
They're wrecking in turn 1.
No.
They're wrecking contact. David Owens, Brenner, Babcock, Steve Lewis. Cars in the air, cars on the bottom. The big one happens on the final lap. We still go green as they're on the backstretch. Everybody's keeping it together. And they're 3 wide again as we enter turn 3, and there's more contact.
Oh, here we go again.
More
See,
contact.
they're wrecking again.
The 988 into the 18 sends the 6 down. And Sean Walton gets collected. The 77 makes contact as the 18 slides down. Hits anybody's guess. Coming to the tri-oval, Daniel Plant-Smith in the lead. Matt Tucker pushing him. Matthew Fritz. They're wrecking again. They're wrecking again. Jack Sanders, did he get it?
Wow, what a finish. I think our leaderboard might be a little bit messed up because a lot of those guys just crossed the line, not on the racing surface. So the results might be a little bit messed up there. So those are definitely unofficial. I think Jack Sanders, though, did get the win there. He got around all the chaos there coming to the finish line. Man, there, see, shades of a lot of races here in the MRL league and Moonlight Racing League coming to the finish line.
Incredible finish to the race. I am out of voice. What a hell of a race. Jack Sanders, against all odds. Colonel Sanders in the 25 Hendrick Chevy machine is your winner tonight from Talladega. The privateer, Jack Sanders, sadly 1 start shy of being eligible to make the playoffs, but wins a crown jewel at a super speedway. Good job, Jack Sanders. Matthew Fritz, unofficially 2nd place. So those results will be updated, and we'll get you the proper results. As we can tell you, Jack Sanders, your race winner tonight from Talladega.
Yep. So the way these results played out there as well, if we take a quick gander at them, I think we saw Matt Fritz there in 2nd. Dana Plant-Smith, who wrecked out, finished in 3rd. Joseph Vulpes worked his way up to 4th there from 17th on that last restart. David Owens 15th to 5th on the last restart. Matt Tucker there, wrecking there across the start finish line, fell to 6th. Same with Buddy Sully in 7th, Parham in 8th, all of them wrecking across the start finish line. Beverly, I think he got bumped around in a few of those wrecks, gets 9th. And Sean Walton is able to recover and get a top 10 out of this race somehow.
Yeah, so, Beverly trying to gun for the win, gets slowed up by the 18 on the first wreck, gets brushed down as a result of the 2nd wreck, so his playoff chances are washed away. Sean Walton solidifies a wild card spot. Zach Panzarella, your 11th place finisher, the Daily Drivers Inc. #1. Jay Stinson in that 12 Venom Racing went for the wild ride when we had the big one down the stretch, finishes 12th. Kyle Anott, last lap mishap, just on a wrong end of the gun that time in 13. Robert Babcock in 14th, triggering the first wreck on that last lap charge to the checkered. Richard Swingle, he's going to regroup and do better next time. The Phantom in 15th. Steve Lewis getting collected. He finishes 16th, as does Andrew Bolander in 17th. And Jax Duvall all but did what he could to avoid it, and he still gets collected in the big one. So Matt Novella and John Flamion, they round out your top 20 as David Brenner is your last finisher on the lead lap, and the others were multiple laps down due to their misfortunes tonight. So we did have all the excitement of a typical Talladega race, Joe, and we had all the suspense and all the fireworks unfold. Your takeaways tonight?
What a crazy race. Really great job by everybody to go 50 laps without a caution there to start the race. I don't really know of any other time where we've really had that kind of a green flag run at a super speedway in MRL at all, to be fair. It's been a long time since we've had one of those kind of runs. So great job by everybody to go that long without a caution. The race got a little chaotic there at the end, which is to be expected. You know, you have a caution in the last third of the race. Cautions kind of start breeding cautions at this kind of racing, and we saw it there. Last lap, typical, I think, to really see a bunch of chaos. We see it all the time at these tracks. People making some really, really heroic Superman-like moves, and they don't usually work out. Look at Jack Sanders getting the dub here today.
Yeah.
Big dub for him.
So a lot of these drivers, they try to throw their Hail Marys at the last lap, hoping that they can land them and make the epic move to the finish. And as you can see, what ends up happening is other guys have the same idea, and it ends up causing a chain reaction. So after all the damage and all the chaos unfolds, Jack Sanders, your winner tonight. Sadly, Jack declined to interview tonight, so maybe we'll get him on a future appearance, and we could talk some racing with Jack in the booth. But Joe Volpus, he's going to win your regular season championship. Joe Volpus in the initial season of the ARCA series on Friday Night Thunder, so he's your regular season champ. Matthew Fritz, he was consistent week in and week out, always mounting good top 5 runs, trying to keep the car clean week in, week out. He's your second place. Steve Lewis, got to give a lot of credit to Steve here. Wasn't able to get a win. However, just running top 5 and top 10 every week, avoiding the big ones, avoiding incident point disqualifications and anything else that can trip you up in racing. Great job. So third place for Steve Lewis. David Owens in fourth. Consistency out of David Owens. That's what we've come to expect whenever he is participating in a series in league racing. So David Owens always up towards the front in fourth. Jax Duvall, consistent week in, week out. Another guy, he just kind of puts in the effort and always goes and tries to get the best finish possible. He's your fifth place. Matt Novella, another one, he went trophy hunting this season. 3 wins, he has the most wins in the regular season. David Owens has the second most with 2. So Matt Novella, your current wins leader. So that's going to help him with bonus points. Thomas Fox, no, Tommy, he's in 7th place, points his way in. Another consistent finisher week in, week out. Tommy just putting in the work and just doing a hell of a job. And he's going to go ahead and strut his stuff in the playoffs. So we look forward to seeing what Tommy's going to bring to the table here in the playoffs. Jay Stinson, 8th place, Venom Racing. Always fast, always sinister, always out there lurking. So Jay, he's going to be a tough one. He's going to be probably maybe my dark horse pick in the playoffs, but we'll do a little preview, Joe, in the future for the playoffs. But Daniel Smith in 9th, he qualifies, does a great job tonight to solidify a position, and Zach Panzarella makes it in. So there's your top 10 regular season playoff drivers. And Joe, who do we have there for our wild card?
The guys right behind him, actually, 11th and 12th in the points. Buddy Sully and Sean Walden are going to be the 2 guys that make it in on the wild card side, since Jack Sanders came up 1 start short. Actually would have been short on points anyways of catching either of those guys as well. So he would have needed those starts in order to catch them. Same goes with Justin Parham and Colin Bollinger as well. They all had wins, but did not have enough starts.
So Buddy Solly and Sean Walton get the job done. So we have our field of 12 for our playoffs. So here we go, the Animal House Chase standings. We reset the points to enter the playoffs, Joe, and we've assigned all the bonus points that these drivers have accrued over the course of the regular season. So it gives Joe Volpus a slight advantage over Steve Lewis and David Owens by 7 points as we go to our opening round at Michigan next week. So tell us about how these playoffs are going to work.
Yeah, so the way these points got applied, the top 5 in the regular season got points descending from 5 through 1. The regular season champ got an additional 3-point bonus for winning the regular season championship. There was a 3-point bonus for anyone that made all 12 races in the regular season. And then it was 1 bonus point per race win and 2 bonus points if you had a 0x race. We didn't really see a lot of those 0x races during the regular season there, so only a select few really got that luxury of getting a bonus point, but 2 bonus points from that. The thing that I'm looking at here, so to preview the field here, to give you some favorites, some food for thought. So out of the 12 drivers in the regular season, Daniel Plant Smith had the best average finish, best average start out of all of them at a 4.8. The best average finish went to Matt Fritz at a 6.5. The best average running position went to Joe Volpus at a 6.3. So that's an interesting thing to note there, even though we didn't have a win. The guy with the most wins, though, had the best average rating. That was Matt Novella with a 103.1, of course, with his 3 wins leading the series as well. He also led the series in laps led at 103 during the regular season, with David Owens hot on his heels with his 2 wins and 89 laps led. David Owens led the series in 68 fastest laps throughout the course of the regular season. So definitely want to look out for those guys and the stats that they bring to the table, because they're pretty much leading in just about every category here through each category here on the statistics. The guys that I'm concerned with on the statistics side, Jax Duvall, he's up there in passes, but his average finish leaves a lot to be desired there from the regular season, a 12.8. Same goes with Zach Panzarella, also at a 12.8. And Tommy Fox had a 14.8 average finish. So those 3 are going to have to be a little bit more consistent throughout these 6 races, these next 6 races here across the chase, if they really want to take the fight to the rest of these guys.
So, it's going to be a heck of a battle as we look forward to the playoffs. I don't know if we have a playoff schedule graphic. There we are. And as I referenced earlier, we're going to start things off in the Irish Hills of Michigan next week for a 75-lap stroll through those Irish Hills. So that's going to be a highly contested race. I know there was a league recruitment race at this track a couple of months ago. So there is a little bit of a familiarity. So we'll see how the track is adapted this time of year with the car's current setup, and we'll start there, and Darlington to follow. So, the Lady in Black is going to be after that. That's going to be a challenge all in itself. That could be a race that we circle that separates the men from the boys. Kentucky follows that. So, we'll look to honor Dennis Puckett, I'm sure, there at Kentucky, and Nashville Super Speedway to follow. Then Rockingham. I think Rockingham might be another one of those kind of wild cards that separate even more of these drivers as we have our championship and go high stakes at Vegas. A lot to look forward to in these playoffs.
A lot of variety going on here in the chase schedule, and finishing off at the casino table, at the blackjack table at Las Vegas. We'll see if anybody's able to beat the hand of the dealer there and get themselves the first inaugural championship here, sponsored by Animal House Customs. We'll see if they can get it done here. See?
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting. Anytime you could be the first time at something, the inaugural, that is history, because you're the best of the best. You were the first to do it. So I know these guys are going to want to fight hard. They're going to battle hard week in, week out. We're going to have some really good competitive racing, some really great battles. I can't wait to discuss all the different narratives that unfold as we proceed through the playoffs. So, definitely tune in next week. We'll get on a few minutes early and maybe have a little playoff preview segment, and then talk about each of the drivers a little bit more in depth, and really lay it out as we go playoff racing next week from Michigan. So, Joe, final thoughts before we wrap up and get out of here.
Yeah, so I just wanted to shout out, just Animal House Customs and everything they do for us, sponsoring the chase here. Going to give out a great prize to our champion here for our inaugural season. So a big shout out to those guys and their embroidery business. Shout out to Ricky Mandel and Mike Bedden, everything they do for MRL. And also shout out to Chantilly Lace and Brandon Grand and everything that he does for these broadcasts as well. To really get them going and really help with them. Of course, want to shout out to you for working with us here and doing the broadcast, with me, of course, up in the booth on Fridays, and of course to our producer, Buddy Sully, as well. Big shout out to him for everything he puts together. It's really, really awesome. All the great stuff he has put together. I think he's got a link maybe to I'm not sure what to the Discord. To the Discord, it's in the description, so be on the lookout for that. And I just wanted to also take a minute just to shout out a fellow brother in the league business, of course, Dennis Puckett. We lost him last month. Talladega is one of those really special tracks to him. Uh, Anybody that knows anything about Bonfire knows that Talladega was the championship race in Bonfire on both Big Truck and Tuesdays and on the Bonfire Premier Cup side for I don't even know how many seasons. For most, if not all of the first three years of the 4-year existence of Bonfire Racing League. So Dennis, we miss you dearly, and I hope you're looking down on us, and hope you're really proud of everything that's going on between MRL, BRL, and everything that we do. Especially to remember you and try and make all these leagues a better place for everybody.
Well said, Joe. And we do apologize for not going silent lap 12 tonight. We will follow suit with that tradition the rest of the season moving forward. With that being said, thank you for being a part of the broadcast tonight. Talladega was very exciting. We look forward to Michigan next week. So tune in this same time next week, and we'll have awesome opening round playoff action from Michigan. For Buddy the producer, Smokin' Joe, I'm Snate, your host, and if you don't go fast, you get past.